In 2022, there are various lingering issues continued to plague the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Administration, including the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and years-long green card backlogs. Last year, USCIS made a number of meaningful changes as part of broader efforts to be more inclusive and transparent. In March 2020, the agency removed the term alien to describe immigrants in its policy manual. Instead, USCIS replaced it with non-citizen or undocumented non-citizen. It also announced it would test a new way to calculate processing times for immigration forms to make them more accurate, timely, and easier to understand. The Senate also made history when it named Jadoo as the new head of USCIS, the first woman and first person of Arab and Mexican descent to lead the agency.
Today, the Senate has an opportunity to provide that agency with that leadership by confirming Jadoo as USCIS Director. Ms. Jadoo may be the most qualified person ever to be nominated for this job. She has nearly 20 years' experience in immigration law, policy, and administration. She's the daughter of immigrants from Mexico and Iraq.
This year, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced extending flexible measures
dramatically reduce the impact that COVID has had on our country. There's a lot of reason to be hopeful in 2020. But for God's sake, please take advantage of what's available. Please. You're going to save lives, maybe yours, maybe your child's. Please take advantage of what we already have, okay? So thank you. Now I'm going to get this briefing started.
New deadline for USCIS response until January 2022. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, USCIS is further extending the flexibilities it announced 2 years ago on March 30, 2020, to assist applicants, petitioners, and requesters who are responding to certain USCIS notices. The accommodation will continue to be available for stakeholders filing or responding to the following: requests for evidence, RFE, continuations to request evidence, N14, notices of intent to deny, NOID, notices of intent to revoke, NOIR, notices of intent to terminate, NOIT, notices of intent to rescind, motions to reopen an N400, Form I-290B, appeal or motion filing requirements to reopen an adverse USCIS decision. Form N-336, request for a hearing a decision in naturalization proceedings filing date requirements. The accommodations, which were initially announced 2 years ago in March 2020 as a means of minimizing negative consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the new deadline will be March 26, 2022. Applicants and petitioners who received an RFE, NOID, NOIR, NOIT, or notice of intent to rescind between March 1, 2020 and March 26, 2022 will now receive an additional 60 calendar days beyond the original response deadline given to them. So they can use this 60 calendar day extension to file a response with USCIS. For adverse USCIS decisions between March 1, 2020 and March 26, 2022, USCIS will grant 60 days from the date of the decision, as opposed to 30 days in most cases under current rules, to file a Form I-290B appeal or motion or a Form N-336 hearing request. The extended deadlines expected to continue to alleviate the pressure on applicants for responding to inquiries or appeals with USCIS filing. Notice for applicants: these accommodation does not affect applications for extensions of stay or employment authorization. These applications must continue to be timely filed. Let's get into the next topic. USCIS Biometric Services Appointment Notice changes for online filings. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services does not mail paper biometric services appointment notices for electronically filed Forms I-539, application to extend change non-immigrant status. As part of USCIS ongoing transition to digital processing, the Biometric Services Appointment Notice will appear in your USCIS online account under Documents once your appointment is scheduled. You are required to bring a printed copy of your Biometric Services Appointment Notice to your Application Support Center appointment. If you file a Form I-539 electronically, you can use your online account to view and print your Biometric Services Appointment Notice. Receive status updates about your case. Respond to requests for evidence. Update your contact information. Check your online account regularly to ensure that you do not miss important communications from USCIS. If you sign up to get notifications, you will receive an alert each time your case is updated. If you need to reschedule a biometric services appointment, call the USCIS contact center at 800-375-5283 before your current appointment date and time. Hope the information presented in the video is useful. See you soon in our